The Republic of the Congo, often overshadowed by its larger neighbor, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, has a complex and turbulent history shaped by political instability, armed conflict, and the exploitation of natural resources. Although smaller in scale compared to the devastating wars across the border, Congo's internal struggles have deeply influenced the country's political landscape, economy, and the daily lives of its people. To understand the roots of the armed conflicts in the Republic of the Congo, it's essential to look back at the early 1990s. As the country transitioned from a one-party Marxist-Leninist system to a multi-party democracy, political tensions surged. Rival factions sought power, each backed by armed militias. Three major groups emerged: the Cobra militia, aligned with Denis Sassou Nguesso, the Ninja militia, supporting Bernard Colelas, and the Kokoi militia, loyal to then-President Pascal Lissouba. These political rivalries escalated into violent conflicts between 1993 and 1997, turning cities, especially Brazzaville, into battlegrounds. The struggle for control didn't only revolve around political ideology. It was deeply tied to economic interests, such as the country's lucrative oil sector. Congo is one of Africa's top oil producers, and control over oil revenues became a powerful incentive for political actors to secure dominance. In 1997, the conflict took a decisive turn when civil war erupted once more. Backed by external forces, Denis Sassou Nguesso regained power and has remained president ever since. While large-scale conflict subsided after 1999, sporadic fighting continued in regions like the Pool Department, where ninja militias clashed with government forces for years. Resource exploitation has always played a central role in Congo's instability. Like many resource-rich nations, the country faces what economists call the resource curse. Despite vast reserves of oil, timber, and minerals, much of the population lives in poverty. Wealth often flows into the hands of political elites or foreign corporations, rather than contributing to public services, infrastructure, or economic diversification. Oil production is the backbone of the Congolese economy, accounting for the majority of government revenue and export earnings. However, this dependence has created vulnerabilities. Fluctuations in global oil prices can destabilize the economy, while corruption and mismanagement hinder development. The competition for control over oil fields and revenue streams has fueled political tension and, historically, armed conflict. Beyond oil, Congo's forests represent another valuable resource. The country is part of the Congo Basin, the second-largest tropical rainforest in the world. Timber extraction, often carried out unsustainably, has led to environmental degradation, loss of biodiversity, and disputes between logging companies and local communities. Illegal logging networks also intersect with corruption and weak governance, further complicating efforts to protect natural resources. Armed conflicts and resource exploitation have also had profound social consequences. During the civil wars, hundreds of thousands of people were displaced. Infrastructure was destroyed, education systems collapsed, and healthcare services deteriorated. Even today, some communities in the Pool region continue to recover from the damage inflicted during years of unrest. However, there is also resilience. Local organizations, community leaders, and international partners continue to work toward peace-building, sustainable management of resources, and stronger governance. Yet the path forward requires addressing the structural issues that connect political power, armed groups, and the control of natural wealth. While the Republic of the Congo has experienced notable periods of instability, understanding the deeper systemic factors behind its conflicts and resource exploitation reveals a complex web of political power, economic interests, and regional dynamics. In this second segment, we explore the long-term consequences of these issues and how they continue to shape the country's development today. After the civil wars of the 1990s, the Congolese government faced the enormous task of rebuilding the nation. Yet the centralization of political power and the dominance of oil revenues created structural dependencies that hindered recovery.
Oil wealth, concentrated largely in the hands of the ruling elite, became both a source of stability and a cause of tension. While revenue from petroleum has funded infrastructure projects, public buildings, and government programs, it has also reinforced inequalities and reduced incentives to diversify the economy. The continued reliance on oil means that much of the country's economic health depends on global markets. When oil prices fall, public spending contracts sharply, creating budget deficits and impacting essential services like education and healthcare. This vulnerability has far-reaching effects, especially in rural areas where people rely on agriculture, small-scale trade, or forest resources for survival. The imbalance between resource wealth and human development remains a persistent challenge for the Republic of the Congo. In regions like the Pool Department, where historic conflicts left deep scars, communities face long-term socioeconomic obstacles. Many villages still struggle with limited access to clean water, schools, and medical services. Former militia members must reintegrate into civilian life, a process that requires not only economic opportunities, but also meaningful reconciliation efforts. Without addressing these needs, the potential for renewed instability remains. Environmental issues further complicate the situation. Congo's rainforests, while immensely valuable, are under increasing pressure from logging companies, agricultural expansion, and mining activities. Illegal operations, often connected to corruption networks, weaken the government's ability to enforce sustainable practices. Forest loss not only contributes to global climate change, but also threatens local cultures and livelihoods that depend on traditional land use. Mining is another emerging sector with significant implications. The discovery of resources such as potash, iron ore, and phosphates has attracted foreign investment, but also raised concerns about land rights, community displacement, and environmental impact. If managed poorly, these activities could replicate the same patterns of unequal benefit seen in the oil sector. Despite these challenges, there are signs of progress. International organizations and civil society groups are working to promote transparency, fight corruption, and strengthen governance. Initiatives like the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, EITI, encourage accountability by requiring governments and companies to disclose payments and revenue flows. When implemented effectively, such measures can reduce opportunities for corruption and increase public trust. There is also growing awareness of the importance of protecting Congolese forests. Conservation programs are expanding community-based forest management, which empowers local populations to control and benefit from natural resources. These efforts not only preserve ecosystems, but also foster sustainable economic alternatives. Peace building remains a continuous process. Dialogue between communities, traditional leaders, and government officials plays a crucial role in preventing future conflict. Investment in youth programs, vocational training, and social services helps reduce the appeal of armed groups and contributes to long-term stability. The story of the Republic of the Congo is one of struggle, resilience, and potential. Its natural wealth, if managed responsibly, could support inclusive development and a better future for all citizens. But achieving this vision requires confronting the legacy of conflict, promoting transparency, and ensuring that resource management benefits the population rather than a select few. Understanding the challenges facing the Republic of the Congo allows us to recognize both the risks and opportunities shaping the nation today. It is a complex journey, but one that continues to evolve as the country seeks lasting peace and sustainable development.
And that brings us to the end of our journey through the history, challenges, and resilience of the Republic of the Congo. Understanding these stories helps us appreciate the complexity behind every nation and the strength of the people who continue striving for peace and progress. Thank you for watching and for being part of this space where knowledge meets curiosity. Your support allows us to keep creating meaningful content and bringing hidden stories to light.